Thank you for joining our webinar today. We will be starting here in just about a minute. My name is Ariel Claus. I am on our Partner Alliance team here, and we also have Trisha Carlos on the call. She's also part of our Partner Alliance team. And Jacob Lee will be our host for today's session. So I'll go ahead and let Jacob Lee take over when he is ready. Just a note for you guys, all partners, you can earn points from this webinar towards your partner tier. So you'll just want to make sure that when the webinar is complete, that you go into your Engage app and you log this as a training activity, and you will receive points for the webinar. And if you have questions on how to do that, please feel free to use the Q&A or chat in and ask us, and we can help you out with that activity. All right, and I see that you guys are working your way in. So Jacob, whenever you are ready, feel free to take over.
Yeah, thanks, Ariel. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
All right, very good. Well, thanks everyone for joining. We're excited to speak with you today and present a bit about our Harmony Connect solution, which is Checkpoint SASE, or Secure Access Service Edge strategy. We're very grateful for our partner community and look forward to providing more information on this solution and how you guys can go take this to your customers to drive revenue, new projects, et cetera, within your customer base. So my name is Jacob Lee. I lead our global SASE sales here at Checkpoint. A little background on myself. I've been in the space for about 17 years, formerly at companies like Cisco and Okta, and a few other startups in the Zero Trust world. So I've seen the SASE, or Secure Access Service Edge, kind of sector evolve quite a bit over the last number of years. And I've seen it go from a kind of a buzzword to more of real world implementations. And this is really good timing for our partner community, because I think there are going to be quite a few projects in Q4 and also leading into 2022 that are going to be great opportunities for you to introduce our solution to your customers. Okay, so as far as agenda goes, we'll cover a few things today. I'm going to try and keep the timing to around 30 to 45 minutes, because I know everyone gets a bit bored with slides, and we want to cover the following points in today's meeting. We'll talk a little bit about the Harmony Connect SASE solution. So I'll provide a quick solution overview. I'm not going to go too technical here. It's going to be more high level, explaining what the product is, some of the areas we address. We'll cover a few customer case studies. So we'll cover 2 customer case studies, one from a mid-sized enterprise customer and one from more of a smaller global enterprise customer. We'll talk about selling personas. And what I mean by personas is, who should you approach with the solution as far as go to market? Should it be the network team? Should it be C-level? Should it be security team? And the quick answer to that could be all of the above, but the challenge there is the messaging should probably be a bit different in regards to who you speak to based on their current needs and requirements. And then we'll wrap up with the partner promo, and Ariel and team can chat a little bit about or help any answering questions around that as well, and we can open it up for questions too. Okay, so to get started, let's talk about the Checkpoint Harmony Connect SASE platform. I'll go through a quick pitch here so you guys can understand where the product fits in. And keep in mind too, we can deliver these slides to the audience after the presentation here, so we can PDF them and send them over to you guys if need be. All right,
Jacob,
so, yep.
Can I chime in for a sec? It sounds a little fuzzy, I think. Maybe with the mic. Just wanted to.
How does that sound now? Is that any better?
A little better.
All right. Hold on one second. All right. How about now?
Okay. Yeah, I think that's better.
That's better. Okay. Yep. I'm on my Bluetooth, so sometimes that can happen. But feel free to chime in if it's still having issues, and I can always try and dial in with my phone.
Okay. Sounds great. Thanks.
Okay. Thanks, everyone. Okay, so to get started here, to recap, Checkpoint's Harmony Connect SASE solutions, what we're doing here is we're taking Checkpoint's industry-leading network security platform and delivering it now as a cloud service. So as you guys probably are aware, with Checkpoint, we have over 100,000 customers. We breached over $2 billion in annual revenue. We've become the gold standard in network security management, trusted by 90% of the Fortune 500, with over 25 plus years of innovation. And that innovation is everything from what we're talking about here today with their secure access service edge platform, but also with like our cloud security platform as well. So we've done quite a bit to innovate at Check Point. And the idea here is that we're taking this DNA that's made Check Point an industry leader in the cybersecurity and network security space and delivering it as a cloud service to meet our customers' modern secure access service edge and network security as a service needs. All right, so how did we get here? How did this whole SASE thing come up? Well, it's really driven by our customers and what's happening within their environments today. Today's environments are quite distributed, so applications are no longer just sitting deep inside the data centers, such as like a legacy ERP application like an Oracle, but applications are really distributed everywhere. So they're in the cloud, whether it's Office 365 or Workday or Box or OneDrive. They could be users accessing the internet to share files or download files. They could be remote offices or branch offices that need to connect to not only applications in the data center, but also applications hosted in the cloud as well. So really the idea there is that applications, infrastructure, resources are now everywhere. It's a hyper distributed environment. And traditionally you would have most of your resources really neatly defined in your corporate headquarter data center with the traditional network security firewall and gateway stack from Check Point or other vendors. In addition to that, remote user access is the new normal. We all know what's happened in the last few years, but I believe this is here to stay. We've heard from our customers that majority of large enterprises and even mid-sized to smaller customers are planning a significant amount of their workforce to be remote or at least work remotely part-time. So it's kind of a work from anywhere model. So this is here to stay. And then from an offices perspective, when we're looking at SD-WAN or branch offices, a lot of branch offices are adopting technologies like SD-WAN and these sort of solutions to reduce or replace expensive legacy MPLS type technology to connect securely to their applications hosted in the cloud or their applications that are in their corporate HQ. So these are all very big driving factors for us as we work with our customers to identify the need around secure access service edge, zero trust network access, secure web gateway, firewalls as service, DLP. These are all terms you'll hear in our presentation today, but these are all big driving factors that you'll hear from your customers. So the challenges that come along with these modern kind of driving factors that make customers look at these sort of solutions include, starting at the top left from a security perspective, if you're looking at traditional remote access solutions like VPN, for the most part, they provide broad network access, a lot of overprivileged users. You do provide a pretty significant attack surface, which can lead to lateral movement. In that realm, users are looking to adopt a zero trust model where they're looking to provide not only segmented access, but application level access versus full network access as well. Operational overhead is a big one when you're looking at when the pandemic first hit, a lot of companies were really scrambling to understand how they would scale their network security stack to support all of these remote users. So when you're dealing with hardware dependent solutions, you don't have that auto scale capability like you do with a cloud product. There are vulnerabilities you may need to manage, your client management, clients you may need to roll out for each user's devices. We've seen a number of very popular commercial VPNs like Pulse Secure that were hacked over the last few years that have led to significant breaches for enterprises and also government institutions. So providing an alternative to the hardware-based solution with all of the overhead and operational maintenance for managing those. And then finally, from a performance and user experience perspective, when you're looking at adopting a SASE model, one of the key benefits is that you do not have to backhaul your traffic, your network traffic to the corporate HQ before you reach your cloud resources. So all of that inspection can be provided as close as possible to the end user and eliminate that backhaul. And then for user experience, eliminating the concept of traditional VPN or traditional backhauling traffic where you have slow connections, drop connections, that sort of thing, and allowing users to connect directly to their applications that are hosted wherever they are, whether they're in AWS whether it's a DevOps application like a Jira or Jenkins, or it could be in Office 365, or it could be an application that's still hosted in your data center. So these are the challenges that our customers have told us that have driven the need for SASE in adopting these sort of new modern technologies for network security. So the idea here is it's really time to rethink this whole model because the world has changed quite a bit. So that brings us to SASE. When we're speaking with our customers, they're looking for these key components when adopting a SASE architecture. They want network security as a consolidated cloud service. So what that means is they want a product that provides multiple different capabilities that you may have different appliances for or software stacks for from different vendors, consolidated into one single cloud service delivered in a very nice, seamless, consumption-based and user-based model. Zero trust access to corporate networks and applications. So instead of providing that castle and moat type security model where users considered trusted after they authenticate, they can have access to the full network. The goal here is to provide least privilege access, aligning to the zero trust model, aligning and integrating with their identity provider to grant only access to applications and resources that users are explicitly approved for. And then finally, for the last two, secure connectivity to internet and SaaS. So securing your users, whether they're in a branch office or they're working from home while they're surfing the internet, downloading files, sharing files, or connecting to their SaaS applications like Office 365. And then finally here, advanced threat prevention. So providing that industry-leading threat prevention to prevent issues before they're happening versus the common model of responding to issues after the fact. So the idea is to provide a proactive approach for threat prevention. Now, at Checkpoint Harmony, we do provide a holistic solution. It's not just about secure remote access or secure web gateway or secure internet access that we're going to talk about today, but we provide endpoint security, mobile security, and email and office security bundled into our pricing model. Now you can buy each of these solutions a la carte individually, in a user-based model, or you can buy and select what's called our Harmony Total Package, which includes all of these different solutions bundled into one platform that's very economical and very easy for a customer to get budget for and also roll out within their enterprise. So today, as I mentioned, we're going to be talking about Harmony Connect SASE, which is our zero trust network access and secure web gateway offering. Okay, now when exploring the market, there is quite a bit of noise around zero trust. There's quite a big noise around SASE, and really a good way to simplify Checkpoint's messaging in this space is that we provide a unified solution. A lot of security professionals, security executives are looking at ways to consolidate their network security vendor stack. They're looking at who can provide all of these capabilities in one single solution versus having 30 to 50 different point vendors. And that's an offering that we can do here. So with Harmony, we're improving security. We provide a simple management interface via our Infinity portal, simple deployment and lower TCO versus if you went with 5 to 10 different vendors to provide this sort of capability. In addition to that, from a pricing perspective, when you're looking at the overall TCO, our model here is very attractive. Usually it's much more cost effective and can get approved for budget much easier than some of our competitors. Okay, so Checkpoint SASE Harmony Connect consists of two different components. On the left-hand side is our corporate access capabilities. On the right-hand side is our internet and SaaS access features. So we're going to start with our corporate access capabilities. When I'm saying corporate access, that would align to, for instance, a remote user to connect to a application, a server, it could be infrastructure from their house, it could be from a Starbucks, or it could be from a branch office. And our SASE platform consolidates all of these different core security services together. So as I mentioned, we're going to talk about the remote access piece in a second here, but what we're providing in our solution here includes secure web gateway, advanced threat prevention, next generation firewall, IPS, DLP capabilities, for instance, preventing users from uploading maybe certain PCI types of data or credit card type data to the internet. and Zero Trust Network Access, or ZTNA. And it's all delivered as a cloud service here. Okay, so to go to the remote access piece, this is for remote users to connect to your resources wherever they are. And this could be an alternative to a legacy VPN in a lot of instances. And the idea here is today what people are doing is they have their managed device. It could be Mac, it could be a Windows device. They have a VPN client, they open up their VPN, they connect to their gateway wherever they're located, and they're basically tunneled into their network. And that network could be, for instance, connecting to your on-prem data center, or it could be connecting to like a VNet or VPC in Amazon. What we're doing here is we're providing a much more modern approach based on zero trust principles with the Harmony Connect remote access solution. And instead of allowing users to connect to your full network, what we're doing is we're integrating with your identity provider, whether it's an Azure AD, an Okta, OneLogin, or Ping, consuming those roles and groups that you've already defined for these users, and then sending the user through our cloud service or our identity-aware proxy to connect just to the applications versus the full network. So because they're only connecting at the application layer, the ability to move laterally and that significant attack surface has been decreased quite a bit. And we support a number of different protocols here. So for the most part, we've got most enterprise customers covered in regards to what we can actually provide support for. So it could be, for instance, some DevOps applications in your VPC. It could be an on-prem application like a Jira or Jenkins hosted in the data center, or even legacy ERP type application. Or it could be applications or resources hosted in Azure as well. So from a protocol perspective, this solution supports web applications, SSH, and RDP server access, and SQL access, so database access as well. We're not only providing a zero trust policy approach, but we're also providing full visibility into what users are doing. So this is another alternative to what enterprises are doing with their VPN today, where you may not have full visibility into everything a user did when they connected to a particular application. And the benefit here is if you have any audit requirements, or say you're working with a third party like a vendor, supplier, or contractor, and you want to know what they were doing on your network explicitly with an audit trail, we can do that here as well. So we're monitoring all their actions. We can provide session recordings as well, so we can actually record their screens if needed as well, if you want that full audit trail. Okay, the other capabilities we provide are PAM and SSO. And we're saying PAM and SSO. What we can do from a PAM or privilege access perspective is vault credentials. So we can prevent issues like credential sharings, or also rotation of keys like SSH keys, which can be problematic and a pain point for a lot of customers. In addition to that, as I mentioned, we're integrating with the customer's IDP. Identity management is a significant investment for a lot of companies right now. A lot of companies are looking at how do we upgrade our identity and access management solution. It could be with a cloud service like Azure AD, or it could be just more granular defined roles and groups in their AD. But we can integrate with ADFS and Azure AD and these various systems to allow organizations to provide more of a role-based application-aware approach to providing remote access. Now, what we have coming soon, and this is currently in EA, it should be GA by the end of October, is a very exciting additional component here. So as part of our ZTNA solution, we connect to web applications and really anything at layer 7. But our new VPN as a service that's coming out is providing a full layer 3 VPN access for users in branch offices. So that means any applications. It could be, an SAP application, an Oracle application, and you really want that scalable cloud-based delivery model for your VPN versus the traditional hardware approach. We have a great solution here. We provide a single client for internet access and corporate access, meaning what I'll talk about in a minute with our secure web gateway or firewall as a service. That same client a user deploys on their platform can also be used for our VPN as a service capability. And then as you would imagine, because this is a cloud-based service, it's highly scalable. And we're also doing additional advanced security checks like device posture, so we can make sure a user has AV installed or they're part of a domain before we allow them to connect to a particular network. Okay, so use cases. Really what we're looking to solve here is really provide remote access for anyone and everyone, really. So to any resource. So it could be a web application, it could be RDP, remote desktop, it could be DevOps engineers connecting to servers via SSH, database access for DevOps folks as well, or legacy application access. So we've got the full gamut covered here, from customer support folks who may need to access just particular resources, such as a CRM or a database within the data center or in the cloud. For engineering teams that move pretty quick, we provide nice, lightweight privilege access management for connecting to cloud resources and servers. We can also do things like tagging servers in AWS and manage resources that scale up and down based on the tag mechanism available there. But then also business users, so knowledge workers, folks that need to connect to these internal resources, and you don't want to have to either deploy a full client on their system, maybe they have too many already, or they may be contractor type workers where you can't deploy a client on their system. We have a great option there. And then to wrap this up, third-party contractors. So this is a great starting point for a lot of our customers to work with, providing zero trust network access for their suppliers, vendors, and contractors, and have full visibility in what they're doing within their internal systems. Okay, so we've covered our Harmony Connect solution, or corporate access solution, that provides remote access to internal resources. Next, we're going to talk about our secure internet access capability, which provides secure web gateway, firewalls as service, and lightweight DLP to particular resources. So the traditional model, you would have a VPN, you may connect to an application hosted in the internet, kind of a clunky approach here for connecting users to the internet and securing their traffic. What we're doing is we're providing a lightweight client that sits on an end user's device, and it basically sends all of their traffic through our cloud service, through our gateway, providing full SSL inspection and capabilities like URL filtering, so preventing users from going to particular URLs based on the category. It could be, for instance, a gambling website or something like that. Granular application control, so preventing users from going to particular applications as well. And then all of the threat prevention capabilities we provide being checkpoint within our core firewall, such as zero-day sandboxing, IPS, phishing prevention, with our full SSL visibility as part of that too. Included in that is our data protection features, including Cloud DLP, so preventing users from uploading or downloading certain types of resources or sharing those resources out. So this is our secure internet access, or as the industry calls it, secure web gateway or firewall as a service capability. Now, when you're setting this up, it's very easy. As part of Harmony Connect, you would just go to the different applications that you want to connect to. You would define the policies. For instance, as I mentioned, on a gambling site, you could prevent users from going to certain websites. For instance, in this short little demo, you'll see this would prevent a user from going to this particular website based on your organizational security policy. And you can have all of the logs and events from what a user accessed or attempted to access during their session here too. So there's a lot of data here that can be stored in our cloud platform. You can also export this to a SIM tool like a Splunk as well. We do provide those capabilities too. Now, setting up the policies is very easy. As you can see, it's mostly point and click. And I would assume most of our partners here are probably familiar with the Infinity portal. This is really our consolidated management system within Checkpoint. All of these capabilities and all of these features for both the remote access and the secure web gateway or firewalls as service capabilities are all delivered via our Harmony Connect tab here in the Infinity portal. So we can easily set this up for our partners for a POC if you guys would like to try it out internally, or if you would like to position it for your customers too. Okay, the second part here would be, one second, branch office internet access. So we talked a little bit about remote users working from home that need to connect to the internet, and you want to provide them with the same level of firewall type policies and securities that you would have in your corporate headquarters as if they were working from the corporate office. So our secure branch office internet access capabilities would integrate with the customer's SD-WAN platform and basically intercept traffic via our various availability zones here, or our POPs, and do full SSL inspection, all of that threat prevention via the cloud here. So instead of routing that traffic back to the HQ, as customers adopt SD-WAN like VeloCloud or Ariaka or Silver Peak, you can route all that traffic through our Harmony Connect Cloud and provide excellent security for users as they access the internet or access any sort of applications on the internet. And because it's all cloud-based, we're providing a very elastic and scalable solution that scales up and down on demand. And it's also a very quick setup. So usually it takes around an hour or less to set up a new instance of our platform securing branch offices. Now, additional use cases for internet access security, including preventing threats, so protecting users from zero-day malware and phishing via our sandboxing type capabilities and our full threat prevention engine. Controlling internet access, so URL filtering is a very common term. It's a very simple term. It's really just preventing users from going to particular URLs. We provide all of those capabilities within our platform as well, and also granular application control, so also preventing users from going to certain applications on the internet that are known to be problematic or have malware, and then protecting data as well. So governing uploaded data to the internet and SaaS, and also monitoring shadow IT. Now, we don't provide a full CASB functionality as part of the solution. What we've seen is most customers have CASB deployed today, but what we can do is we can provide reporting in regards to what users we're accessing, and you can go and take a look and understand if you want to put different policies around what they access or restrict certain types of applications, databases, or websites that you're accessing as well. So these three use cases are very prevalent for our customers: preventing threats, controlling access, and protecting data while providing internet access security. And this is all powered by our threat cloud. So really the world's most powerful intelligent network. So our threat cloud handles over 3 billion files and websites daily, 13 million files emulated, and we detect over 2,000 zero-day attacks as well. And we're protecting hundreds of millions of devices, clouds, and gateways. So as you guys can imagine, Checkpoint has north of 100,000 customers. We've taken all of this full network, and we are leveraging our threat cloud to provide this level of protection for our customers, including different types of AI, machine learning algorithms as well to protect our users. So this is a big part of our secret sauce, really Checkpoint's tangible benefits from our customers when they're looking at how do we compete against some of the other vendors that weren't really necessarily born in the security space. Maybe they came up in a network kind of focus, but we're taking this DNA within our threat cloud and leveraging this to protect all of our customers. Now, the Infinity Portal is a great solution to bring to your customers, whether they're looking at just managing their on-prem network security stack, or they're adopting some of our cloud security solutions, or they're looking at some of our Harmony products to connect, for remote access or zero trust network access or secure web gateway. The capabilities that I've talked about here, they can all be set up, easily deployed, configured, and managed via our Harmony Connect from a single Infinity Portal. So it is multi-tenant as well. So if you need to have one portal set up for a customer that has different groups in there, it's very easy. And it also integrates very seamlessly with the customer's IDP, whether that's Okta, Azure AD, or Ping. Okay, so I know there's a bit of Q&A here. I think we can leave some of that towards the end. I'm happy to chat through that. But let's talk a little bit about case studies, and then we'll go into some of the personas. Hopefully everyone can stick around for the Q&A. We can talk about the partner promos we have, and then we can answer some of these questions as well. Okay, so I'm going to go through two quick case studies here. One of them, as I mentioned, is a smaller SMB type customer of ours with over 500 employees. It's a global customer, founded in 2015 in the UAE. It's called Aleph Education. They're an edu tech company. Engaged in learning experience example given. They make games, content, and videos for people to learn remotely via the internet. And their need was for a zero trust network access solution. So they are a heavy cloud customer. cloud native platform. Their platform was built on AWS and Azure. They use microservices. They have over 150 DevOps engineers. Some of these are full-time employees, some of them are contractors, with over multiple apps and over 400 plus homegrown apps. So they have hundreds of applications that these DevOps and engineers need to connect to. And if you think about how DevOps and engineering folks operate, they typically like to move quick. Sometimes they see security as an inhibitor to do their jobs, and they want a solution that allows them to align to how they access most of their resources today, usually in the cloud. And that's why they like the Harmony Connect solution and our zero trust network access capabilities. So we have a clientless platform, so there's nothing to install on their end user engineers' devices. We're providing a cloud-based service, so it auto-scaled up and down. There's no hardware to deploy in their environment. It can integrate with their CI/CD pipeline. We have a full API and it's very easy to manage. And then we're aligning to that zero trust network access architecture, and we're providing support for all these different protocols, whether it's SQL, so connecting to a database like Postgres, connecting to, for instance, a Linux server in AWS via SSH, RDP capabilities as well, so providing that full RDP connection, and then also tunneling and web application access. So here's what their deployment looks like. And this is really a high-level diagram, but for their users, there's nothing to deploy on their devices. So whether you're using a Mac device or Windows, for these folks, mostly Macs. But basically what they do is they open up their laptop, they will authenticate with their IDP, and they'll be routed directly to their various resources based on the roles and groups of that identity provider, for instance, Okta or Azure AZ. And for Aleph, it was really AWS and Azure custom homegrown applications they needed to connect to. So where they're connecting directly to their VPC in a zero trust access model and their VNet in Azure. And what we're doing for these users, which they really liked, is beyond just routing that traffic, providing that secure encrypted tunnel, leveraging their IDPs to provide role-based access versus traditional, you have access to everything, broad network access. But we're also providing things like key management. So we're helping their DevOps engineers preventing keys from being shared, for instance, SSH keys. We're eliminating the concept of them having to rotate keys as well, because all of it's stored safely in our vault, and we're using HashiCorp's vault in the backend. In addition to that, we're providing full visibility, so we can record and track everything every one of these DevOps engineers does when they connect to these internal resources, whether it's clicking on a link in an application, or we can do full screen recorded sessions, and also understand what kind of commands users run, for instance, SSH or RDP sessions as well. Okay, another great customer we have is WR Grace. So WR Grace has been around for quite a bit, since the mid-1800s actually, headquartered on the East Coast. They're a global leader in specialty chemicals and materials as well. And their need is they really wanted to provide a secure digital transformation. So what I mean by secure digital transformation, a lot of companies are going through this model, moving to the cloud or adopting cloud-based services. And what they wanted to do is provide the best security they could around that. And for these folks, if you can see the diagram on the right, it started with their branch offices. You have site DEF on the right. And what they were doing here is connecting via MPLS directly to their corporate HQ and then to the internet or to their application. So they're really backhauling traffic to a central data center for internet access. But because they were moving to cloud-based services like Office 365, AWS, and Salesforce, it didn't make a ton of sense to do this. And they wanted to adopt a more modern approach that could allow these branch offices to connect directly to their applications securely wherever they are. And really the demand outgrew the network design. So as their branch offices increased, their network really couldn't keep up, and they really needed a flexible cloud-based approach to deliver this. So this is a quick example of what their architecture looked like. You can see the different branch offices connecting to their SD-WAN solution of choice. For WR Grace, it was VeloCloud by VMware, then being routed through our cloud via primary tunnel, GRE, or IPsec availability, and we would provide the full inspection, all of the zero-day threat capabilities as well via our Harmony Connect POP here, and then routing these users directly to their applications or to the internet. So we provided a very quick setup, auto scale up and down on demand. It provides all of that zero trust access policies or those policies that would align to their headquarters organizational strategy as well via the cloud here. So URL filtering, what applications a user could access, governing what kind of data could be uploaded or downloaded from the web applications, or sorry, from the internet as well. Now, their second need in where they pivoted when the pandemic hit is the remote users. So they went from primarily a use case around branch office security, connecting with VillaCloud to connect these branch offices directly to the internet without routing traffic, to, hey, how do we handle our thousands of users that are now working from home? They have managed devices, but we don't have those same sort of firewall type security policies that we did because they're no longer in the office. So what we did with them is we deployed our lightweight Harmony Connect client on their managed devices, and all of their traffic would then be routed through our cloud, providing that industry-leading best-of-breed threat prevention, security, URL filtering, DLP capabilities for these users as they work from home or as they work anywhere within the organization. So we increased security with them. We prevented data leakage to web and cloud applications, for instance, sharing data to different cloud apps that really weren't aligned to organizational policies, preventing phishing, malware, and C2 bots, and reduce latency in core user experience by preventing routing all of that traffic through their headquarters or their central data center. So here's an example. We've got the VillaCloud branch office deployment on the left. We have the remote worker deployment on the right, and all of the traffic is routed through our cloud with our multiple points of presence throughout the globe directly to the internet or their external applications like Office 365, Salesforce, AWS, or Azure. So very simplified deployment, cloud-based SASE solution, no hardware to install in their environment, and they were up and running pretty quickly with a very high TCO, a very low TCO, excuse me. Okay, so next is selling personas. Before I get into that, I thought I'd answer just a few of these questions really quick. Starting with, is the Harmony Connect service proprietary to Checkpoint, or is it hosted within a public cloud such as AWS, Azure, or others? So Checkpoint uses the public cloud backbone because they have the most availability to deploy all of our different points of presence throughout the world. So we leverage AWS and Azure for our POPs or points of presence. Okay, is there an official release date for the VPN feature? So we are on target for end of October release date. Can we integrate Active Directory to the Harmony Connect remote access solution? So today we support integrating with ADFS or Active Directory Federation services or Azure AD. We'll have Active Directory support coming out soon, but what we've noticed is that most of our customers already have like an ADFS type capability deployed. So yes, we can support that. Harmony Connect, does it allow you to add applications that are on premise or only those consumed in the cloud? Yeah, we do support an application really hosted anywhere. So it could be on-prem or in the cloud. An example of that is it could be a hosted application. For instance, maybe your DevOps team has an instance of Jira or Jenkins hosted in AWS. We support that. Or it could be a legacy type application deep in your data center behind your firewalls in your headquarters. We support that as well. All right, and then any technical documentation around how the endpoint anti-malware is built. We can follow up on that. I don't have that offhand, but we do have how we work. And I think in particular, we're probably going to want to talk a little bit about the architecture and how the client works, including routing traffic through our cloud for all of the different threat prevention capabilities. All right, we'll keep the questions coming, guys. I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone's time and investment in Checkpoint and in this webinar. When will there be training for partners? So we can get training set up right away. I think today we wanted to do a bit of an initial introduction here, but we can do custom one-on-one training for each of our partners that can include both technical training, but also go-to-market training And the go-to-market training could be, what personas should we go after? Who should we partner with? Should we go speak to a CISO, or should we talk to someone, on the network security side? Where would we get the best response? So we can do both of those. Okay. All right, so we're going to move into selling personas here, and then we're going to get into the partner promos. And I know it's about 8:40, so I've gone a little bit long. So I'm going to go through these quick, guys, and we will follow up with a partner-centric document that has most of this data summarized around the selling personas, in additional great data on how to go after and prospect and present the solution. So keep in mind, if you don't get everything you need around this today, we can have multiple follow-ups, including we can also send our deck and some additional partner-friendly documents to help everyone. Okay, so targeting personas. Now, I would say there's 3 different options or routes you can go here when you're looking at targeting, prospecting folks within a particular organization. And keep in mind, we have customers that are on the SMB side all the way to the enterprise side with thousands of employees that have adopted our solution. So SASE is a significant step forward in network security, and it applies to really any, I would say, kind of subset of an enterprise, whether it's a company with a couple hundred employees or a company with tens of thousands of employees. Most of them are starting to look at this space. All right, so for a C-level, we've got CISO, CIO. For security, I would say security architects are a really great area to start when you're speaking about SASE or modernizing the network security stack. And then from a network perspective, we have network security engineers, remote access engineers. And the top of mind initiatives for these folks, really, what are they working on? What are they really focused on here? Include SASE, Zero Trust, and SD-WAN projects. There's significant spend happening right now in the market in 2021 and even more in 2022 in the space. For example, just to throw out a few Gartner stats for folks who like Gartner, Gartner predicts that by 2023, 60% of enterprises will replace their VPNs and in favor of a ZTNA product. So think about the market share today with the number of VPNs that are out there, billions of dollars being shifted to a new modern platform like this. In addition to that, Gartner states by, I believe it was 2023 as well, 80% of enterprises will be deploying their applications outside of the data center versus in the data center. So that talks a little bit about the shift from the modern approach the legacy approach where all of your applications are hosted neatly defined in your data center to the new modern approach where they're distributed everywhere. Okay, so let's talk about, we'll start with the C-level. So why would a CIO or a CISO care about either of these initiatives, whether it's SASE, Zero Trust, or SD-WAN? Really supporting the new remote workforce. I think most of them at this point, if they didn't nail this, then they're probably out of a job, but a lot of them are looking at how do we fine tune this new world of remote workforce or work from anywhere policy, making sure they maintain business continuity in the event they have a significant impending scenario like what happened with the pandemic, where there were just thousands of users that needed to hit their network remotely at a time, reducing the risk of business impacting breaches for a CISO. That's really top priority for them. And then also looking at cost and efficiency increases as well. Now for IT security folks, very similar. I would say they get a bit more granular when you're looking at C-level. It's typically a bit more strategic and high level. How do we drive these initiatives forward? I would say security folks are very, very focused right now on adopting the Zero Trust framework. I would say 9 out of 10 security people that we've spoken with, and I've probably met with about 1,000 customers in the last year, are looking at adopting a Zero Trust framework, and they're looking at starting with remote access as an initial use case. So reducing that attack surface with Zero Trust, preventing business impacting breaches, securing B2B collaboration, and also securing cloud resources and how they interact, consume, and connect to their cloud resources. And some of these folks, to give you an example, titles could be architects, it could be engineers, director of information security, VPIS, et cetera. Now for network security folks, Another area here would be SD-WAN. So this would be reducing costs of legacy MPLS with SD-WAN, increasing efficiency and user experience, and preventing that traffic backhaul and modernizing their VPN remote access architecture. Okay, so I think we had a few more questions here. How do we license SASE? Today, it's a user-based licensing, so it's licensed per users. So we just look at and count the number of users and organizations we need to roll this out to within their environment. And do we still need an agent on workstation for SASE-based protection? Now, that is an either-or answer. So for our Zero Trust Network Access solution, we provide a clientless option, and we also provide a client-based option. With the clientless option, you have access to a number of different resources like web applications, database servers, etc. With a client-based option, you can connect to on-prem apps like client server apps as well. So for instance, thick client type applications. So really it's an either or. Okay, all right, so to wrap up here, because I think we're right about 8:45, and I know I wanted to be respectful of everyone's time, and we can answer some more Q&A at the end. We have a few slides here on partner success, really some of the promos that we've come out with to help our customers or our partners roll this out to your customers and help you guys have some initial success here. So some of the promos here just for your sales folks or your organization. We have kind of a breakout here for Amazon gift cards that we're providing for deals from 5 to 10K all the way up to 50K. It goes to about $800 for an Amazon gift card there. Now, how do you register this? We'll get to that in a second. But it's all kind of standard registering model. You guys should be familiar with this page here. You would do enter the data. Is it an existing customer? Is it a new customer? Customer company name, contact email, country, some of the information on the deal, whether it's a new deal, a competitive replacement. You can put competitive info here as well. And you're going to want to register your deals as soon as possible because it is such a hot space right now. We do have quite a lot of competition from our different partners. We want to make sure that we're making sure this goes as efficiently as possible. So if you do have a customer that has a project here, let's register the deal as quick as possible, and we'll set up a call to discuss how we can help support you guys, whether it's anything from discovery calls, to demos, to proof of concepts, all the way through the pricing phase. We're here to help. Okay, now as far as deal registration discount, so this is really cool because all of these discounts are in addition to your partner level discount. So just look at this as kind of additional icing on the cake here. For regular deal registration, products, services, and support is at 6%. For emerging tech, which this space is emerging tech for Checkpoint, SASE is, you've got 15%. Competitive replacements about the same. When we're saying competitive replacements, this could be, hey, we need to replace Zscaler, or we need to replace a Fortinet or some other vendor in the space, which we've actually seen that quite a bit in the last 6 months or so. It's 15%. And then for new customers, we mean greenfield accounts that weren't previously Checkpoint customers. We have a 25% discount in addition to that as well. So we've got a great promo going both with Amazon gift cards for the team, but also for additional deal registration discounts to help you guys get started here. And we provide as much support as needed, whether it's providing technical training for your team, sales training for your team on how to go out and hunt prospect for these sort of solutions as well, or any sort of support along the way. As Checkpoint does majority of its business via partners, we're excited to help you guys along the way here. So looks like we have a few additional questions. In regards to a left's use case, the question is, no agent is required for internet and SaaS access. So for a left, no, there was no agent required for connecting to their cloud applications. When it's connecting to internet, providing that secure web gateway capabilities, you do need a lightweight agent installed on their device. Cool. Okay. Well, some of these other questions we'll get back to you guys on, but That is what I had. We're looking forward to working closely with all of our amazing partners out here to introduce our Connect SASE solution to your customers and providing as much support as possible to make sure you guys are having a great experience with Checkpoint and you're helping to increase your revenues and increase your own market share. So I will pass it back to Ariel and team for any additional questions, and we'll go from
there. Okay. Thank you so much, Jacob. That garnered a lot of interest. We just have a quick note here at the end for you guys. Again, thank you so much for joining this webinar. For our partners, please remember to log this as an activity in your Engage app. Doesn't matter if you're sales or technical role, you can still earn points individually to use for rewards and then points towards your partner tier as well. We will also be sending out a recording of this webinar to all registrants and attendees in a follow-up email. So please look out for that. And we will also be posting the link to this webinar on our partner map, our partner portal under the events section, which we will also direct you to in our email. Other than that, I do see, Jacob, there's a couple more questions in chat that did not make it to Q&A. I don't know if you had time to take a look at that. Totally up to you. I know we're getting close here on time. And then John Arnett in chat wants to know if we, who do we contact if Engage doesn't let us log in? You can contact Partner Alliance. So just send an email to US_partneralliance@checkpoint.com. And I'll also go ahead and put that in the chat as well.
Sure. So let me maybe cover just a few more of these. Let's see. Okay, in regards to FedRAMP, we are actively working on FedRAMP. We do have SOC 2 Type 2 compliance. We can support ISO as well, and GDPR compliance. So it is something we are working towards. Usually takes a little while to get there with FedRAMP, but we are working on that. Checkpoint has a significant amount of federal customers, so it is a priority to us. In regards to licensing again, so we try to keep this as simple as possible and adopt to the modern SaaS or software as a service model. So we price based on the number of users. So the number of users in a customer's environment. And in regards to ransomware, we do provide with Harmony ransomware protection with our endpoint solution. It's a fantastic solution for that. And pretty soon our endpoint security solution will be integrated into our SaaS offering too. Okay, and I think the rest of those we'll follow up with on, but we appreciate everyone making time. And as we said earlier, we're happy to set up some individual sessions for our partners to do a bit more of a deep dive or set you up with your own tenant of the Harmony Connect solution so you can explore the product and position it with your customers as well.
All right. Thank you again so much, Jacob. Thank you, everyone. If you have any additional questions, feel free to email Partner Alliance and we will pass those along to Jacob's team and Jacob. And if not, have a great day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.